Okay, now each afternoon Peter was allowed to sit up for an hour, and he did so. As he did so, a shadow would fall across Joseph's bed. So when Peter was allowed to sit beside the window on his bed, obviously the light from the window obstructed by his body, and the shadow of his body fell upon Joseph's bed. Now Peter used to talk about the world outside, because Joseph was not allowed to move at all. He was supposed to lie flat on his bed as his spinal cord was seriously injured. So he used to urge Peter that what he was looking at outside the window, he asked Peter to describe the scenery outside the window. Tell me about the world outside, Joseph would say as he looked at the ceiling. You are by the window, you lucky fellow. There is nothing much happening on the ceiling. Peter used to, Joseph used to say that, tell me what is happening outside the window. Because you are very lucky that you can sit up and look outside and observe the outside world, whereas I have to lie flat and only looking up at the ceiling. I can't do anything else, and at present there is nothing interesting going on in the ceiling. So there is not even a spider or a fly. So there is nothing to look at from the ceiling. And Peter would tell him, it is a bright day today. The window overlooks a park with a lovely lake. There are ducks and swans splashing on the water and around the lake and all. So he used to describe, Peter used to describe a very vivid picture of a very clear day, and used to paint a very positive vibe to Joseph's mind, because he used to paint a very vibrant picture, so that Joseph would feel very very positive towards the day. Because lying flat on the bed and doing nothing and thinking about all sorts of negative things, it would never help Joseph to get well soon. So Peter invented lots and lots of colorful picture. He painted in front of it that the window overlooked a very beautiful park. It was covered with lush green grass. There is a pond where the ducks and swans are swimming and splashing water, and colorful flowers are there, and children are playing, and the couples, the husband, wives, or the other couples, they are roaming around in the park. They are very happy. In this way he used to describe. The sky was full of white clouds. The sky was absolutely bright blue, which was reflecting on the water of the pond, etc., etc. He used to describe. Then in Joe's mind's eye, in his mind's eye, Joseph could visualize the bright and colorful scene outside the window, and he felt warm and comfortable inside. So obviously this bright and colorful picture, when he could visualize in his mind from the description of Peter, and Joseph could feel very warm and comfortable. He would feel very positive about the life. and he would feel like, when I will be able to sit up and look at this bright and colorful day like Peter. He used to think like that. So there was a hope in his mind that I have to get well soon, so that I can also sit up like Peter and look at the scenery outside from my hospital bed. So this was his thinking, and this positive thinking, this hope to get well soon so that he could sit up, that was helping his spinal cord to heal, to be cured properly. The young couples are walking arm in arm, continued Peter. And now one young man is picking a scarlet rose and handing it to his sweetheart. How many flowers there are! What stunning colors! Like, he was giving a very enthusiastic picture. Like he was telling that a lover was offering a bright red rose to his girlfriend, and it was a very positive effect on Joseph's mind, that the world outside was very bright and colorful, and it was very happy, and he also was feeling that happy vibes in his mind. And his mind was also, always remember, a healthy mind gives a healthy body. A mind is full of positive thoughts, then body is always overcoming its defects, and feels more vibrant, more healthy. What lies beyond the park, Peter? Now Joseph is asking, what lies beyond the park? After the park, what can you see? Beyond the park? Why? There is a busy street. Red buses are running along, and black and yellow taxis, they are weaving in between the cars, and they obviously know their way around the city. Obviously, the taxi drivers, they know all the lanes and roads in a city, because they have to reach the destination of the passengers. So there was now Peter is describing a busy street beyond the park. After the park, further the park, what was lying? Peter is telling that there is a very busy street, and where the buses are plying, and the cars and other vehicles are running about, and in between the yellow and black taxis are also running along, because the drivers, they are running very swiftly, and it indicates that the drivers are very much familiar with the lanes and by lanes and the roads of the city. Now next Peter is telling that he is now describing about the skyline. Now the skyline, what is a skyline? Skyline, if you have seen this picture, or if you have reached the Howrah station, and from Howrah station, that Howrah side, if you have looked beyond the Hooghly river towards the Kolkata side, the houses, you can see the houses, and the churches, the houses, all are in, you can't distinguish which house is what or which building is what, but you can see that the houses are lined up, and tall buildings are there. So that is the skyline of a city. So the buildings from afar, when you are looking at the buildings and the important features of a city from afar, that is the skyline of a city. So Peter is describing that the skyline also, that there are tall buildings, they have the hoardings, the colorful hoardings are for attracting the people, and there are the dome shaped houses, there are the churches, the mast of the church, the cross that is very much shining in the sunlight. Everything he is describing to Joseph. Okay. Now all of them are a magnificent structure. So wonderful description Peter is giving to Joseph. Now and then the nurses would come in and say, "Now Peter, it is time to be down again. Your hour is up." And they would saw him back to his bed. So after an hour, the nurses would come back and they would instruct Peter to lie down once again, because his quota of sitting up, the time limit for sitting up for every day was up.